guys, welcome to Total Football. I'm Siddhartha Sah, your host for today, and I have with me Nishant Ramesh and Dhruv Choradia, and we're going to be doing a review of the 2020 summer transfer window, right? So let's get started. The first team we're going to be talking about is Liverpool, right? They have gotten Shimikas, the left back. They got Diego Jota from Wolves, and they've got Thiago Alcantara from Bayern Munich for a reported 30 million euros, right? And this just adds more quality into this already such a great side, right? So, Nishant, do you think Liverpool can retain the Premier League title this season?
Yeah, they have a very good team. They won the Premier League with ease last season, and I think they've made some fantastic additions to key areas. They've addressed every position on the pitch. They've got a good left back, backup for Robertson. They've signed a game changer in Thiago, who gives them a lot more control in midfield, and they've also signed Diego Jota, who provides a lot more depth to the attack and releases a lot of pressure off that brilliant front three, to not play week in, week out. So, yeah, I back Liverpool to win the title, because I feel they have already such a good side. And I think they're in a position where they can compete on all fronts. And they have a confident squad, a confident manager who believes in his team.
Right. So we're going to be moving forward to Man City, right? Obviously, they sold Leroy Sané to Bayern Munich. They sold Claudio Bravo, and they also sold David Silva, who we know was such an influential part of that team and a great servant of the club. But instead of them, they got Nathan Ake from Bournemouth and the young Spanish right winger Ferran Torres from Valencia, right? So this there'll be two halves of this section. So the first question will be to Dhruv. Dhruv, do you think Man City can, win the Premier League from Liverpool this time?
Yeah, I'm really backing Manchester City to win the Premier League this season because I think that they've strengthened their squad immensely because they lost out to the Premier League last season because of lack of defensive players and injuries. So with the signing of Nathan Ake, they've obviously made a step towards that. And secondly, it's just going to be extra firepower from City and Pep Guardiola because they would just be out to seek revenge from Liverpool because they were the ones who dethroned them from their position of champions last season. So that extra firepower and that desire to win will, I think, will actually propel Manchester City towards winning the Premier League this season.
Right. So let's talk about the second half of this thing. Nishant, considering the fact that Phil Foden had this very controversial moment in Iceland, do you think he can fill David Silva's shoes?
Phil Foden's a very young player, obviously, and he has a lot to learn from his manager and from the rest of the players. But I feel that he has the potential to be one of the best midfielders of his generation, uh, and I fully think that he can fit in David Silva's shoes. Obviously, the Iceland incident shows that he lacks a little bit of maturity, but it's natural at his age. And I don't think he should be bothered by that. I don't think Manchester City should be bothered by that, and they should both move on from it and look forward for this season and the years to come.
Right, so let's talk about Tottenham Hotspurs now. Right, this is going to be Jose's second season in charge. Yeah, and he's made some very smart signings actually. He's got a Matt Doherty from Wolves. He's got Højbjerg, right? He's got Sergio Reguilon from Real Madrid. But remember, Madrid have put that buyback clause on Reguilon, and he's also got Gareth Bale from Real Madrid on a one-season long loan. So, Dishan, do you think Spurs can finish in the top four this season?
Yeah, they definitely can. They have a squad that has been strengthened, and I've been very impressed with their transfer business so far. Um, I still feel though that they've not addressed a few key areas, namely a centre back to replace Jan Vertonghen, and obviously I feel the signing of Højbjerg is not enough to uh, to provide depth and provide quality to that midfield. I believe that they need another centre defensive midfielder, someone who can break up plays, someone who can protect their defense. But that being said, I think if they can keep their key players fit, such as Kane, Gareth Bale as well, who's obviously injury prone, and if they can keep these players fit And if these players can find a good chemistry on the pitch, I think they can easily finish in the top four and even maybe push higher.
Right? So let's move to the other side of North London. We're going to be talking about Arsenal. Okay, uh, this is Arteta's second season in charge. He's made the fans happy. He's made the players happy. Arsenal are looking like a completely different side, and you can see that in the transfer strategy as well. They've got a villain. They've got Anis Ceballos on a loan again. Right, they made sure Pablo Mari and Cedric are permanent signings. He got in Gabriel Megales, who's a Brazilian left-footed centre back, and we know how important a left-footed centre back is in the modern game, right? And Martinez, the goalkeeper, also left, and Mkhitaryan also left the club. But I think the most important part is that Aubameyang has signed a new contract with Arsenal, keeping him with the club for 3-4 more years. So, Dhruv, do you think other teams should be worried about Arsenal this season?
Yeah, definitely. For me, Arsenal are the dark horses of the Premier League this season. They've made really good decisions with Mikel Arteta, and Arteta has started to change the culture we see at Arsenal nowadays. Uh, he has made signings in positions that Arsenal were very weak in, and he is concentrating into silently developing a team that could go on to win championships. Also, they've made a really good efforts in retaining their marquee and main players, for example, Aubameyang this season, which Arsenal previously haven't been able to do. So I think Arsenal are going to be like the silent killers of the Premier League, and nobody knows what exactly to expect from them. They could very well end up in fourth position or third position if they are to beat away Manchester United, Chelsea, and Spurs.
Okay, so now let's talk about Man United, right? This is going to be Ole's third season in charge. They finished third last time around. They had a big season actually last time, and we knew they needed some signings, but once again, they really have not done good business. They've got only Donny van de Beek from Ajax, right? Sancho is a big uncertainty, and we know they need to sort this right wing position out. They also haven't sold a lot of players. They've just sold Alexis Sanchez, and there are still a lot of Deadwood players left in the club. This just goes on to show that the board and the owners are not ambitious at all. And Dhruv, being a Man United fan, where do you think United will finish with and without Sancho?
Top four. Just as simple as that gets, because I think with or without Sancho, I would make much of a difference in United squad. Of course, he's an amazing player, and United would be really lucky to have him, and he would help the squad immensely in the attacking regions. But currently, as for his performances I've been seeing, the the club needs more of defensive signings like a left back and a centre back, because I don't think the duo of Harry Maguire and Lindelof and the inconsistencies shown by Luke Shaw will be able to work for United in defence this season. So I would rather prioritize. I would rather have Manchester United prioritize defensive signings rather than buying Sancho. However, I think that Sancho would obviously attract marquee players and future talent and scouts for Man United. But currently, I think the money that will be used to buy Sancho should be reinvested to buy defensive signings.
Now, let's talk about Chelsea, right? Frank's second season in charge, he had this, big whole thing with Transferman last time around. He he relied on his young academy players, and they did quite well actually, finishing fourth. They were on points with Man United, just the goal difference was the issue. But this time around, they went in and they bought in a lot of players and smart signings. They got in Timo Werner, they got Kai Havertz, they've got Ben Chilwell, Hakim Ziyech, Sar, Silva, and the new goalkeeper Mendy. And they've sold Morata, Willian, and Pedro. And Nishant, as a Chelsea fan, do you think Chelsea can challenge for the title this season and for the season after this?
I think the target for Frank Lampard and Chelsea would obviously be to, compete for the Premier League title. But realistically, I think, the players and of course Lampard would be aware that it would be extremely hard for them to compete with Liverpool and Manchester City this season, simply because they signed so many new players that. it's going to take time for all of these players to adjust and to get to know each other off the pitch and on it as well. And you can still argue that the Chelsea just still need probably one or two more quality signings in order to get on that level with with Liverpool and Manchester City. That being said, I think this is a squad that is looking really promising. There's a lot of depth in it, and the players are happy, fans are happy, and there's a manager who knows what he's doing, who has a long-term vision for the club. So I definitely think that the next season Chelsea would definitely be competing for the Premier League title.
Now, on to the last question of the episode, right? This is to both of y'all. According to you, which Big Six club will face the biggest disappointment this time around? I think Dhruv can answer this question first.
Yeah, for me, I think Spurs will face the biggest disappointment in the Premier League this season because, however, Spurs have made decisions and bought in players that strengthen their squad in their weak positions, like their defensive positions, their fullbacks, and they've gotten another right winger in Gareth Bale, and they've gone and bought in Højbjerg that tries to increase their quality in midfield. But however, I think they still lack the quality in their defense and as a substitute striker, because I think without those and a midfield like Spurs has, I don't think they will be able to break into the top four yet, because but the likes of Manchester City, United, Chelsea, and Liverpool, is going to be really tough for Spurs to break into the top four race.
Well, according to me, I see United having the biggest disappointment this season. I can see them finishing in the Europa League places, and of course, this is uh, depending on whether they can get Jadon Sancho or not, and of course, other signings like Alex Telles, Josh King, and a centre half. But United, I feel, even though they have a very strong starting 11, I think what they lack is competition. They don't have a lot of depth, and there's a lot of negativity around the club at the moment, which is why I feel teams like Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea, and even I would say Everton, could go above them in the table, and you know, maybe this could be a 13-14 season again for Manchester United.
And it's a wrap for the first episode. Thank you to everyone who's watching this right now. Please stay tuned for more videos. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and on Twitter. And like, share, subscribe, guys. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Thanks for the support, guys.
Thank you, guys.